Greetings, chess aficionados. Welcome to Chapter 11, the Paris Defense, which begins after knight c6, bishop c4, and d6. So probably most of your opponents who play d6 are not going to be aware that it's called the Paris Defense. They're just going to be trying to play something to get us out of theory. And indeed, there's not a whole lot of theory here. The good thing is we just play normal moves and get an edge. We have our bishop out, aiming at the king. Black's bishop is locked in. So that gives us a small advantage. So we play d4 as always. Now, there's three moves I'll cover in brief. Knight f6, pawn, and bishop b4. We'll do it in order of most commonly played. E takes d4 is the most common and not particularly good. Black gives up his one pawn in the center and allows us to develop. I mean, you could say this is not a developing move, but it does open our queen. And if black plays knight takes knight, we've already been over these type of positions. I'm not going to go too much further, but yeah, black has two pieces developed and white has none. So this is not a very good way to play. G4. This move maybe looks a bit scary at first glance. Before I took the time to study this, when I see this, I thought, oh man, did I actually make a mistake already? I think in a blitz game I even played bishop e2, but bishop e2 is not something you want to play when you've been doing everything right. So correct move is h3. So at first glance it might look like he's going to take and take here, but let's look at that. So clearly taking here is not possible because of checkmate on f7. And if he blocks with a knight, we can kick his knight away, develop our pieces, and yeah, we have a space advantage. We have three pieces out versus one, and that's awkward. Black plays queen here. We have, similar to a few other variations that we've seen already, queen b3, hitting the b pawn, not hitting the f pawn because the queen's protecting it. But it does look a bit dangerous, right? What if knight takes pawn? We can attack his rook. And it's true he can check and take our rook, but we're going to be taking his rook with check. And here, actually, yeah, this is probably almost never going to occur. But let's just have a look. We can actually invite him in, let him take the rook, because, yeah, as you can see, yeah, black is going to be in a world of hurt. If he blocks with the rook, we can not even take the rook, just check here. If he blocks with the queen, remember the queen is pinned, so we can actually take here and either trade queens, or we could throw in this check first, and this knight will be lost later. Anyway, that's quite far afield. Just an example of what might happen if he takes our knight. And say if he goes back, play d5, hitting the knight. If he comes back, we can kick the bishop around, and again, we got three pieces out, and black only has one, and this is a pretty sad piece, just biting on our pawns. Here we'll probably castle queenside, maybe bring the bishop out, bring the queen out, castle queenside, maybe even play to trap this bishop. So that's terrible. And if black comes forward, well, again, we can kick the bishop away. And if the bishop goes back, we can, at the very least, win a pawn. And if he takes our knight first, again, it's going to be similar. Bad bishop, pieces coming out easily. So bishop g4, while it looks aggressive, is not a good move. So finally, we'll jump to knight f6. And here, we'll take the central pawn, trade queens. The knight has to take. Well, actually, there's really no good move. If the king takes, he's going to lose this pawn. And if the knight takes, well, actually, yeah, knight takes is the best because we're attacking his pawn, but he's also attacking our pawn. So we could take castle. Okay, he's got some pressure here with the knight and the bishop, but this is a nice move. Coming back, hitting the bishop, getting ready to pin the knight. So yeah, bishop e7 is actually the only move. So he goes back to b6 instead. Now we can ping the knight to the king. Actually, even this is not quite so clear because we can't play f3, but we can play knight c3. I shouldn't say it's actually I shouldn't say it's the only move. Black can also castle, but now at the very least we can get the bishop here. So so yeah, we attack the knight. The knight goes back, attacking our bishop. Um, we can gum up the works. This is a good move, blocking off our attack on the bishop, and we can just develop our pieces. So out of the million some odd games with d6, this position's only been reached 11 times. So I'm just going to cut it here. But even in this even-looking position, you can see we're more active, and yeah, black has been cluttered up. But you don't need to see all this out of the three moves. Knight f6 is already least common. More often than not, your opponents who are playing d6 are going to either take the pawn or pin the bishop. Pin the knight to the queen. And in both cases, you're going to get a knight's edge. Then the off chance your opponent is actually well prepared and plays knight f6, here you can also, well, you'll also get a slight advantage. So you can also kick the knight away. This is what the engine prefers, but positions become kind of like more King's Indian-ish. If you're familiar with that opening, that black might play Sophian Shadow. And yeah, this is fine if you want to play like this. But if you prefer more open game, as I do, I'd recommend to take the pawn.